It's working.
So we're live.
We are. Right, but remember this is an episode that we still need to record and make look good.
Well, yeah, we're going to have no way of interacting with what's going on, are we?
Well, I can look at our phones, but it will take away from the final product.
Yeah, this is it.
So, you're right to just push that door shut. Bang. And we're in, I think. Just checking. Yeah, cool. Oh, wait, shit. I need to turn off the speaker.
What was that? There was a speaker going on.
Yeah, it's because I've got to input one into it so you can hear it. There you go. Right up and now.
It doesn't say we're live.
Yeah, it does.
I can't see us. Oh, no. Yeah, there we are. That's so cool, yeah.
Right. Now we're going. Awesome. Hello, world. Right. We've got to do a short one first, yeah? Or do you want to jump straight in?
No, let's do a short one first. Am I able to see... Oh, chat's there, just in case anyone does comment.
Yeah.
It's there. Right. What short would you like to talk about, my friend? I had to scratch my back.
Won't be able to do that when you've got it tattooed.
I know. Well, for a couple of weeks.
There's another bear joke. Incredible.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you know you're on the right path? This is something we've been chatting about a lot recently, this idea of what's right, what's wrong for you. A lot of people perceive that they're on the wrong path because of the outside stimulus they get. So what signals should someone be looking for internally to suggest that they are on the right path?
I think if you're excited to get out of bed in the morning to work towards the thing, that's a really good sign.
If you've got motivation to get up and you're excited about what the day might hold.
Yeah.
Okay. Surely a lot of people despise their work, so getting up and being excited about the job they do is just not something that is in their wheelhouse.
Yeah. And this is the problem, right? It's maybe people aren't on the correct path. They find themselves sort of on a path. It's like when you wake up and you're like, where am I? I'm here. You know? Do you ever do that? Do you ever wake up and not know where you are?
No.
No?
No, I know exactly where I am every time I wake up.
Good. Means you're probably living honourably.
Have you ever woken up and not known where you are?
Yeah.
Why? How?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't know how I got there.
I mean, it's a valid response, but I don't get the premise. I don't get how you've ever gone to bed and not know where you are.
You've been travelling. You must have woken up and be like, ah.
No, because I'm aware of how I've got to a place. I have mental, ability to remember what happens in my life. Okay,
Must be
so
nice for some.
remembering that there's something to work towards is a great goal to have to then keep you inspired moving forwards. Okay, so what else could someone be doing, or signals could they find out if they were on the right path? I would say if gratitude comes easy.
Yes, that's a really good one.
You know, practicing gratitude is not a challenge. It's something that you do with joy and glee. And it's not like, I have to find things to be grateful for. Gratitude just sort of flows. Naturally, the more grateful you are, the more reasons you have to be grateful. And therefore, it's just a repeating circle. I get that. But if you get up every day and you're just legitimately grateful for what you have, then yeah, that's likely a good barometer if you're excited about the day.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe another one would be you never feel finished. You've always got the next level up to be working towards. Could be a really good one.
Maybe you never feel finished, but you're excited about the journey. So rather than it feeling quite overwhelming or depressing, a bit all-consuming, like, oh God, I've got so much to do, you're aware that you can still do these things, but you're happy of where you are.
Yeah.
So it's not like this overwhelming sense of impending doom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mind you, I think you still can feel like...
You're just assessing.
Yeah. I feel like doom is all around me.
Doom is all around you. So say someone is not experiencing those sort of symptoms. They are not grateful for things in their life. They don't have any motivation to wake up, and they don't feel grateful or want to continue working towards the end goal. what should they do?
Quit.
Maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, quit fast.
A couple more words I think you're missing.
Yeah, identify if it's a phase you're going through or if you genuinely don't want to be in that industry or in that job role. Once you've identified that, and if it's a phase or if it's like reality, then if it turns out to be reality, then seriously consider quitting and going for a position in a place that is going to inspire and motivate you to contribute towards it with sort of a want rather than just, I get paid anyway.
So you're suggesting passion has to come into it?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what would you say to someone that is passionate about the work they do, but also all signs are maybe telling them it's not the right path to go down?
That doesn't matter. If you're passionate about it, just do it. You'll be more fulfilled by doing something you're passionate about than what any signs can tell you.
I like that. Are you doing what you're passionate about?
Yes. Losing money.
Does it feel good all the time?
Does it? No, it
No?
doesn't.
Okay.
No, it's quite depressing quite often. But I'm more excited about YouTube making content and music than I am about anything else. So that helps me get out of bed in the morning and want to get after it. So that's what I do.
I should hope everyone has some degree of wanting to get out of bed and attack the day. Because if you don't, it must feel quite hollow. You know, you want to be excited for life. You know, you only get one go at it. Surely you want to have like this unending inspiration to just attack the day, attack life, make it happen for you, achieve your goals, live your dreams.
Happen to life. Don't let life happen to you.
Yeah, agreed. But surely that's a great barometer of knowing if you're doing the right thing, is whether you feel like you're in control or not. But it must be quite sad to be in an environment where you don't feel like you are in control of your own life.
Yeah. Employment.
Do you think it's just employment that provides that?
Yeah.
That's just your view, though, isn't it?
Self-employment, you're well in control. All your failures are your own.
What about if someone feels trapped, not through work, but through like circumstances?
Circumstances and obligations.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's tougher. But what matters more to you, fulfilling all your obligations or following your passion?
But what if it means you can't fill any of your obligations by exploring your passions?
Then now's not the time to be exploring your passions. Now's the time to suck it up and get to work.
Okay, so it's knowing that there's a difference. Sometimes you have the space and the life to be able to explore, but other times you do have to do the dirty work, get your head down and achieve.
But if you've got a 6-month emergency fund, quit. There's no point in you staying there.
Okay.
It's easy. Just do what you love. Save money and do what you love. Live and less than you make. Don't buy cars on finance.
I don't know who you're speaking about there.
Everyone.
Oh, okay.
The average car payment in America is $700 a month.
I mean, your cars just cost you what? It will have cost you $1,500.
About $1,000. Less than that. I'm guessing it'll be about $1,000. But still, total on my car, including the purchase, insurance, other work I've had to have done, I'm still under 10 grand on the car.
How long have you had the car now?
7 years.
Damn. I'm surprised it hasn't blown up, to be honest.
It's great. Like, the engine is still solid. So it's done 180 something thousand miles, still works. So I can't moan. It's funny, people are telling me, oh, don't fix your car, just buy a new one. Like, buying a new one costs more than what I've already spent on the car. And this car is going to continue going after I fix these small structural issues.
It's difficult though, isn't it? Because sometimes, this is a good analogy, like with life really, sometimes you're right, investing more into the problem will make it better.
Yep.
But sometimes you've got to know when to walk away. Like for instance, my old Skoda Fabia was awful. I wanted to get rid of it. First bit of like pain point I had, I wanted to get rid of it. Listen to outside sources. No, like stick with it. Get the work done. 2 months later, something else.
Yeah,
2 months later, something else.
You love that car,
I hated it. No, I absolutely hated it. But I listened to outside sources, and sometimes you got to trust your gut, whether it's telling you to leave a circumstance or stay in it. And it's a good analogy for life, really, isn't it? Like, you've got to know when to stay, but you've also got to understand when to walk away.
Yeah. If it has the same problems next year, I think 1,500 quid a year, even if it costs me that, it's still cheaper than buying a new car.
New secondhand, maybe.
Yeah. There's a Kia Sportage up for $4,500
They're nice cars.
that I really want. It's, yeah. But the thing, it'd be so expensive. Like, if you pop a tyre on that, like, it's 100 quid a wheel, more than that, 150, 200 quid a wheel.
Yeah.
It's like, no, thank you.
Right.
Is that the end of the short episode?
Yeah.
Cool.
What are you doing?
I'm just checking everything's working.
We're still live. I can see us here.
Yeah.
Well, no one's watching us.
Is the audio good?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no one's watching us.
Oh, yeah, it really is, isn't it? Look at me go!
I don't know.
That's because it's taken all the effects out of Logic and applying them live, isn't it? Look at me go! That's because it's taken all the effects out of Logic and applying them live. Jesus Christ. This is perilous.
Do you reckon there's going to be an echo then if we have this laptop close enough to the?
Yeah, I
speak-
don't
Do you
need
reckon
the
there's
audio
going to be
running.
an echo then if we have this laptop close enough to the?
Yeah, I'd mute it. We proved it works.
Well, yeah, it was muted the whole time. Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
thank you.
Right.
Okay, so about the idea of being full, like too much outside stimulus.
Have you got more ideas about this now? Or are you just still going to be using the...
I'm hoping you're going to inspire me.
Nice. Have we had any viewers yet?
I don't know.
If you go on to analytics, and then oh yeah, here we go. We've had a view.
That's me.
Yeah, or could have been me to be fair. View duration's good.
It's because it's me. I'm the one watching it.
Somebody's watching right from the beginning. This is incredible.
We should do this all the time.
Yeah. If you go on the Beneath the Noise channel page, just click on ours or X up there, and go to channel or click up here, sorry, and then your channel. Live. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, we're definitely live.
But the thumbnail went through. It's important. If I do that, then people can see. I think having that camera actually a bit lower is quite good. Maybe. I don't know. Right, let's film a pod.
Cool. Have you ever noticed that your brain feels physically tight? Not because you aren't working hard enough, but because you're never truly alone in your own head. You know, we aren't just busy, we are overexposed. We have constant stimulation, and we're the first generation to live in a noise economy that profits from our outrage and sells us the lie that being certain is the same thing as being right. So I wanted to digest this idea of the noise economy, so why people feel mentally full, why we've got this constant overload of stimulation. But let's jump off with that idea of a brain feeling full. So why does my brain feel constantly full?
As a human race, we've got so many more inputs now than ever. We've got social media. We've got all the same opinions from friends and family as before. You've got rules and guidelines. You've got an overarching government. You've got not only to deal with the government in your country, but the governments on every country now impacts every other country. It's like the New World Order, if you like. All of these different things playing on our mind at all times, not to mention stimulus like Netflix and Prime and all of these. So we've just got a lot of ideas floating around our heads. And I think we've said in the previous episode as well, the human brain doesn't know when something is an immediate threat versus on a screen. Your physical response is the same. So if you watch a murder documentary, you're going to be more scared before you go to sleep on a night.
Because you got that stimulus that your brain is not understanding the difference. It just understands stress.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're suggesting is the brain feels constantly full or your head feels constantly full because there's an overload of information, an overload of stress.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned about like the news. Did you ever know that those that listen to the news in the morning often find that they have a dip in their mood later in the day because they've immediately listened to sort of any sort of stress around the world, and they trigger that fight or flight with high cortisol immediately at the beginning of the day?
That's wild.
Which means by the end of the day, they're often depleted, experiencing anxiety, depression, a lot more than those that sort of wait to consume it later in the day or a bit more conscious about how they consume it.
Yeah.
But yeah, feeling constantly full. It's the overstimulation, isn't it? It's being constantly available.
Yeah. I also, on a slight tangent, I don't know why the news has to always be negative. It's news. So it could be all positive news. But it's because people click on more negative things, they make more money out of it.
Yeah,
But
people
it's like,
want to hear the positive, but the positive doesn't sell.
yeah, it's crazy. It's like if the news, like nobody watches the news anyway. So if you just made
Watch
it all
the news,
positive, yeah, exactly. You just see an Instagram thing that's like, oh, somebody's been shot.
You just see people reacting to the news
Yeah,
rather than actually the news.
that's it. Yeah, the BBC News' audience is fully made up of reaction channels. Sorry about that.
How dare you?
I almost died.
Okay, so we're overstimulated because there's too much going on. So our brains are feeling overwhelmed. Is this across life, or is this just limited to social media? How does this play out in actuality?
I think also as a society, we've learnt that more inputs equal more outputs. As in, and everything is about how much money you can make. So therefore, it's not only the stresses of your influences, but it's the stress of making sure you can keep up with everyone else. So it's an additional thing to weigh on you.
So comparisons coming in there as well, because we can see what other people are doing constantly throughout the day, and then we can make assumptions on what they are or are not doing. That feeds into it as well.
Yeah, definitely. We want to do better next year than we've done this year, and this year should be better than last year. Which is quite a lot for an individual to manage. Especially with like rising costs and whatever. It's like you're being forced to improve every year.
Do you think one can improve year on year?
Absolutely. I just think, and like if we talk about income, a lot of times that's not in people's hands. It's will their boss give them a raise? Well, the boss won't give them a raise unless the company's income has increased.
What about personal development? Can someone improve year on year as where they want to be? Maybe fitness, health, nutrition.
Absolutely. That is entirely up to the individual. I mean, obviously within the financial constraints, but yeah, like if you want to eat better this year, the only thing that's going to stop you doing that is you. Like you can tell people that, like you eat healthily. Like what do you think's the biggest reason people don't improve their diet?
Personal laziness, but there is also the financial factor. But I just think it's laziness, ignorance, like lack of education, lack of knowledge, and yeah, finance. Because people assume it costs a lot to eat healthy.
So you asked me, do you think people can improve year on year in sort of personal aspects of their life? What are your opinions on that?
I think you might have some years where you're going to develop more than others. You might have some years where you feel like you're regressing, like if you have a traumatic event or a breakup or loss of a loved one, you might feel like you're regressing. But I think providing you keep personal development in mind, you work to try and achieve it rather than just assuming it's a byproduct of living. It is to an extent, but I think you have to have you have to play more of a leading role in it rather than trying to just be behind the scenes. I think it is possible, but I don't think every year is going to be consistent. So like 1 year you're going to be 1% next, 2% next, 4%. It's not going to compound. I think there might be times where it will, but other times it might not. It just depends on how invested someone is to the development, I would assume.
Nice. Good answer.
Appreciate it. Let's talk about overstimulation with social media then. So brain feeling constantly full. I saw something on social media, ironically, but it was like the average person's day is wake up, stare at a 6-inch screen, stare at an 11-inch screen, stare at a 42-inch screen, stare at an 11-inch screen, go to bed, and that should terrify you.
Yeah, literally, it's just you moving from one light source to another.
Yeah. So is that a reason why we might feel constantly overstimulated? Because we have so much information just there. Whenever we need it, it's there.
Yeah, your brain is always on.
Yeah, it
So if
doesn't
you're
need
awake,
to switch off.
you're on. There's not like, oh, let's have a slow wake up. It's like, no, if you're awake, you're on your phone.
How many people immediately wake up and check their phone and immediately have that stimulation, that blue light straight into their eyes?
Yeah, which will help waken you up.
Yeah, but it's the wrong kind, isn't it?
Type. You need sunlight, which the UK doesn't have. But
Even getting outside in the morning.
the breeze is quite awakening. Good.
It does wake you up, doesn't it?
It does.
Especially when it's bitterly cold outside.
Yeah. Temperature is another huge factor.
Yeah, do you think we've lost the ability to rest? Like, really rest? Or not lost the ability, but we don't put it as much as a priority as we should.
I would say we've lost the ability. In the Western world, we've lost the ability.
Why would you say we've lost the ability?
Because we associate rest with boredom. And if I'm resting, I might just be sat on the sofa not doing something or anything. And to me, that looks like boredom. Why wouldn't I just pick up my phone? We can't identify the difference between active rest and boredom. Because what do you do on a rest day where you go on your phone? It's like, well, that's not resting. You might be resting physically, but you're not resting mentally.
You're still stimulating yourself. You're still putting your brain in a heightened state of stress. Obviously, social media is going to cause like spikes in dopamine, which is going to fatigue you because you're depleting your dopamine resources. So you think we've lost the ability to rest in the Western world? Yeah. And is that why wellness now is such a big industry?
I think so. Because people have realised that they feel overstimulated and they've never, or they can't remember a time where there was another alternative. It's like you have to just be on. If you live in the Western world, you have to be on. It's a bit like, I suppose, a comparison you could do is how you'd imagine living out in the country versus living in London. It's like everyone is like walking around with a purpose. They know exactly where they're going. It's really busy. You've got buses, you've got taxis, you've got subways, you've got tall buildings up there. You've got sun, you've got wind, you've got smells. You like loads. Countryside, you've got maybe a couple of birds tweeting off in the distance. You've got
there's less sensory overload.
But the Western world as a whole is like on sensory overload. If you compare that to sort of third world countries, it's like way more chill. Maybe not in terms of like basic needs, but if you go if you go to places that maybe have enough food and water, places where Mr. Beast has input wells and things like that, it's like these people don't have all the stimulation all the time, and they cope. You know, they build stronger bonds with others. They find stimulation in things that are healthier for their brains and more manageable.
How much of this do you think is driven by hustle culture, constant connectivity, grind culture?
Probably quite a lot. Because if you say to somebody, oh, I'm taking a holiday. Oh, cool, where are you going? It's like, no, I'm taking the holiday time, but I'm just going to sit and do nothing. Really? That sounds boring. Why are you doing that? It's like, oh, because I want to rest. It's like, what do you mean rest? Like, just go and do something. Go and relax on a beach. No. I want to do nothing. I need to properly reset. I don't want the stress of travel. I don't want the stress of my phone. I don't want the stress of anything. I need to just relax.
I want to sit in a dark room with no outside stimulation.
Yeah. It's maybe not a dark room. Like, you could do things like walks around your local area, but like removing any unnecessary, elevated, luxurious stimulus is going to improve your quality of life. It's just so difficult to persuade yourself to do it.
So I'd say we haven't lost the ability to rest, but I reckon it's severely compromised. And I wonder that is why maybe wellness is such a big industry now, because we've identified it And now, as we always do, we like to make it into an industry, and we like to make a way to make money from it. You know, it's so much more sexy to sound I'm going to a retreat to rest than it is, oh, I just went for a walk because there was less stimulation. I went for a walk in the countryside.
Yeah.
Like
It's almost got to sound good to others.
yeah, you've got to almost glorify your rest now.
Yeah.
But I suppose there's different types of rest people might need as well, though. So there's like the physical, the mental, the emotional, the sensory, the spiritual. So there's all different types of rest that one might need. But maybe the reason that our brains feel constantly full is because all of those boxes are ticked.
Yeah.
You know, you're emotionally drained, you're physically tired, you're sensory overload. Spiritually, there's more sort of inputs than ever before. And it's just really hard to set those boundaries.
Yeah, definitely. No wonder everyone's more anxious than they used to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't respect boundaries that people put down now as well. You know, something I've noticed subtly within like gym culture. Taking a rest day is really important. But when you tell someone you've got a scheduled session, you're like, oh, I took a rest because I needed it. It's often not frowned upon, but it's be like, why? You were meant to do that session. You
just
should have
don't
done
wanna
that
do
session.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
you didn't want to do it. It's like, no, my body needed the rest. And I wonder how much of that is similar in day-to-day life. It's like, oh, you know what? I just need... Like the idea of a mental health day is great. I love it. But the fact that we need mental health days because we've created an environment where mental health is so depleted.
But the thing about mental health days that wind me up is people will stay at home and be on social media. That's not a mental health day. If anything, that's making the problem worse.
Agreed.
Yeah, the other thing is the treatments for anxiety have come at it from completely the wrong side. They've come at it from pharmaceuticals. No doctor is suggesting no social media when that is the true fix. It's like we just can't seem to get through to the world that social media does overstimulate your mind.
Too much as well.
We say on a podcast that's going live.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Like, don't worry about us overstimulating your life. We're actually relaxing your mind because I don't know about
We're
you,
having a
but
stimulating conversation.
we're having a stimulating
Yeah.
conversation. You're listening to a conversation and looking at two moderately average looking guys.
That's really why they tune in.
Yeah,
They have it on mute.
just want to hear us converse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? This idea of rest in a world that demands more and demands hustle culture and it just demands sort of this ineffable ability of sort of perfection and grind harder. You know, rest when you're dead. So how can we relieve that full feeling? Also, when I was doing the research for this episode, why does my brain feel constantly full? Maybe a sinus infection. Not quite what I was going for, but I liked the mindset someone went down. Okay, so tips to relieve that sort of full feeling. Obviously, we've mentioned rest, you know, active rest, not being on social media. Like you said, no doctor is prescribing social media detoxes, when in reality...
Well, it's because they know nobody will do it and they can't track it. Like if you prescribe somebody medication, you can see if they're taking the pills or not.
It's also they can't make any money from people stepping away from social media.
That's
But
it.
we're not going to get into that argument of pharmaceuticals. I mean, it's better in this country, but in the US, it's cooked.
It's insane. I don't think it's much better here. Like we're still over prescribing antibiotics as well. So what can people do to essentially calm down the noise? Let's talk about that. So I think a good first step is acknowledging where you're at the moment. So if you know that you're overstimulated and your brain's on overload, just accepting that is the first thing. We've said it many times before. Accepting the problem is the start of fixing the problem. By the way, jump in at any point if like you have anything to add. Or
Well, I think those are good in the sense that when you acknowledge the problem, don't judge yourself for the problem. You know, it might be that you've drawn awareness to the fact that you are feeling stressed and overwhelmed. don't then judge yourself for feeling stressed and overwhelmed. You're just going to make the problem worse. It's that meta emotion idea. You know, I'm feeling so tired. Well, now I feel guilty for being tired.
Yeah. Now I'm sad that I'm guilty that I'm tired. Now I'm angry at myself for being sad that I'm guilty that I'm tired.
Yeah.
The woman that ate the fly, that ate the mouse, that ate the cat, that ate the horse, that swallowed a pig, or whatever the song is. I met an old lady to do it. No?
I mean, I think you said there
She
that
swallowed
a
a
fly
Yeah.
swallowed a cat.
I don't know. It was something like that, wasn't it?
I don't know.
There was a song. So the first step is acknowledging that you are overstimulated, and that's a really good leaping off point. Following that, you need to look at the areas of your life. Like, what's your daily routine? You said that most people end up looking at a phone screen first thing in the morning, then a laptop screen, then maybe a monitor screen, then maybe a TV, then go back to the phone. So what can you do to reduce screen time in that scenario might be a good idea. As well as, identify the other stresses in your life. Is money a stress? Is your work a stress? Is your family life a stress? Is there, other stresses? Do you have a responsible from running some sort of community group and that's causing you stress? Identifying where your stresses and noise is coming from is going to really help pinpoint where the solutions might lie. Because it's easy for us to say, oh, well, just don't go on your screens and then you'll be less stimulated. But if you're not reliant on screens, or screens aren't causing the overstimulation, like my grandparents, they're not scrolling social media all the time,
No.
but they could still be overstimulated by, I don't know, reading emails or looking at spreadsheets or whatever.
Newspapers. What old people are looking at spreadsheets?
Do old people not look at spreadsheets?
Mine don't.
Or like even scrolling the news, going on bbc.com or whatever it is, bbc.co.uk. Just haven't, like, whatever it is that people do on the phones without social media. Newspaper, sure. Whatever you're doing that gets your stimulation in. Like, I might be watching Netflix documentaries. So then it's not the phones that are the problem.
It's limiting the outside stimulation and finding times, cultivating times where you can prioritize a bit of space. I love going into nature because that's you reconnecting with, like, the earth. I know as hippie as that sounds, but if you're in nature, we're animals. We are a part of nature, so embrace it.
Leave your phone at home. Like, enjoy the noises of nature. Like, and if you're thinking, oh well, I don't live anywhere near somewhere where there's nature sounds, it's like, well, you can still find somewhere that's relatively quiet. If you live in the centre of London, there will still be quieter places in London.
Still lots of parks in London. It's a very green city. Hyde Park, correct?
Hyde
Anymore?
Park. Piccadilly, do they have a park?
Don't think so.
Have they got a square?
Yes, they do, but that's very busy.
Not a park. Coventry?
Coventry. That's a town.
Oh, you could go to
You mean
Coventry.
Covent Garden.
Covent Garden, that's
That's not a town.
Mayfair?
Busy again.
Regent Street?
Busy.
Oxford Street?
Very busy.
Northumberland Avenue?
Are you just going through
The Monopoly
Of course you are.
Jail?
I hear that's very nice.
Free parking? Go? There will be areas near you where there is quieter
absolutely.
environment.
Yeah, so reduce your information intake. So whether that is deleting social media from your phone, moving the app around.
Yeah,
as you always say.
I think that's a really good thing. I haven't heard anyone else talk about this, but I think muscle memory is a huge contributor to us going on social media. Just move, like, even if you move over by one app, you just swap around left to right. I'm sure you end up not clicking it. Because I deleted YouTube Studio is my biggest addiction on my phone. I'm always checking my stats, and yeah, like if I'm on my phone, take a guess at what I'm on. You'll be right 9 out of 10 times. YouTube Studio. So I went on a holiday to Wales, and I said, right, I'm not going to work this holiday, and it was the scariest moments of my life because I had no idea how my business was doing. But I found that whenever I picked up my phone, I didn't even need to look at my phone. I trusted that the thumbprint would work, and I was bang on the app. I've got it in like the easiest position to push as well because it's like, oh, well, I don't want to be scrolling to get to YouTube.
I don't want to have to use the muscles in my thumb.
That's so much effort. So I removed the app, and it works. It's really good, and it makes you more conscious about where you're spending your time.
Yeah, that's a great one. Absolutely. Leave your phone at home if you're going for walks. Great one. Obviously, if you live in an unsafe area, keep your phone with you. Some sort of way of communicating, but put it in a pocket that you wouldn't normally put it.
Also, if you're trying to de-stimulate yourself, don't walk in an unsafe area.
You might live in an unsafe area. You have to walk through it to get to the tube station.
Get a taxi.
Okay.
Don't walk through unsafe areas. That's gonna put your heckles up.
I don't know
Do you
what
not have
those are.
Heckles on the back of a dog. You see the like hairs stand up on end, don't you? You don't have a dog.
I don't.
Neither do I.
Okay. I think one I'm going to jump on, we've done a whole podcast about this particular one, is just prioritizing sleep. We've done a whole podcast on the importance of sleep. So
Deep
I'm not gonna,
sleep, specifically.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but prioritize your sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a day to allow that recovery, to allow that sort of detox, that just for your body, your mind, your soul to just chill out. You know, we all know how it feels to wake up from a good sleep. We all know how it feels to wake up rested. Conversely, we all know how it feels when you wake up from a bad sleep, from an interrupted sleep. You know, you can leave your phone outside the room. That's a great one. You know, digital clocks have been invented for years. Use one of them.
Yeah,
Keep
alarm
your phone
clock.
outside your room. This is it.
It's one of Chris Williamson's biggest advices.
Yeah.
Pieces of advice.
Yeah, this is it. Leave your phone outside your room. Try and limit your screen time as you get up to bed, and that means phone, laptop, TV. Start reading. Start journaling. Start meditating. Start playing a board game.
Board games are so good. Like, people have completely forgotten how good bloody Snakes and Ladders is, and
I love a Snakes and
Monopoly and Connect 4. That's not a board game, but it's, you know, similar.
game.
Even cards, like playing rummy, playing blackjack, like not gambling money, but just playing with, you know, friends and family and loved ones. You know, it's a great way to spend your time.
Yeah, this is it. Something that allows you to
Spin the bottle. Great one at Christmas.
explain so much about your family.
You just took a shot at not only me, but my family.
I did, yes. You teed it up.
They say no regularly.
I should hope so, but they got exceptions at Christmas, do they?
Yeah.
God, drink your
At
fuel.
Easter, it's spin the egg.
How do you know which way it's pointing?
The pointy end.
Or the fatter end?
It's not. The fat end is clearly the back. Everyone knows that.
Back of the egg. Drink your Huel.
You don't spin it vertically. That would be confusing.
Yeah. Do
All of us. Come on, Nan.
remind me to never come. Hold on. There's a few things now. Remind me to never come to your house over the holidays. Secondly, you said, "Come on, Nan."
Yeah.
Was that a command? Or was that? Was that a bit of encouragement?
Yeah.
Or both?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you need both.
God, how are we going to put this back on the rails? That went so quickly off.
You see, there's a lot of noise in my brain. It's a good example on how I might be requiring a detox from family stimuluses.
Yeah, big time by the sounds of it. So why does everything feel mentally exhausting now?
I think because we go into everything pre-exhausted.
I agree. That was going to be my first
I do
point.
apologise. It would be, to steal probably your analogy you were going to use as well, it'd be like going to a gym workout on the morning and battering your legs, and then your work was to go and do leg day. But I've just done my legs, like I can't do it.
You're pre-fatigued.
Yeah, you turn up to, like, if you've got an hour commute, which I think is quite common. I think the average commute is 40 minutes, is it? You've been on your phone for 40 minutes. You've already, your brain is like already.
You've depleted your
Yeah.
dopamine already prior to getting into the office. You stimulated yourself so much for those 40 minutes.
It's a lot to ask for an organ.
Yeah, you've got to be able to acknowledge how you're feeling before entering into a new set of stimulus. Am I coming in with the right energy? Am I mentally prepared to have this conversation, to meet this person, to do this workout, to go to this job interview, whatever it might be? you need to set yourself a little bit more grounded, some time to prepare, so that way you're not going in pre-fatigued, pre-exhausted for everything.
Yeah.
Because it's the lack of recovery time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to lead to burnout. And we've spoken about burnout heaps.
Yeah.
We have a constant walking burnout image in front of us. Yes, this is it.
Role model.
Yeah,
could say.
poster boy.
Yeah. I think also as well, it's whenever it comes to talking about detoxing and overstimulated brains, we treat the brain very differently to how we treat other organs. If you are actively doing things that damage your liver or damage your kidneys or damage your lungs or damage your skin, everyone says stay away from them, they're bad, they're damaging your organs. Your heart, if you're doing something that's bad for your heart health. But when it comes to damaging your brain, and it's so deeply ingrained in society that everyone just goes on social media, and that's damaging your brain, there's not the same sort of reaction of like, oh, well, that's damaging your brain, you can't do that. It's just widely accepted. A lot like smoking was 100 years ago, and drinking was until about 20 years ago. We're slowly, it takes decades to actually bring these things to people's attention.
Well, Dr. Daniel Amen, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a brain doctor, effectively. But he always suggests we treat the brain like any other bit of, like, unlike any other body part. You know, if you go into a doctor's surgery saying, I've hurt my wrist, what will they do? They'll look at it. They'll try and find what's wrong with it. Whereas with the brain, we just prescribe stuff. We don't look at it. You know, we just go, oh, it sounds like you're depressed. Have some drugs. But he's like, he started scanning people's brains to go, oh, like, it's underactive in this part of your brain. Like, there's a really awesome story where he said he was working with this couple. Couple had been to therapy for years. Different couples therapists after time. They couldn't get through to anyone. He was the last sort of like, we've got nothing left to do. Like, we just need to try it. It was either this or we get divorced. He scans the guy's brain. It's like the way you put it is there's moths in there. It's not even firing. And he was like, oh, where do you work? He's like, oh, he explained that he worked in like a lead treatment plant or something. He was like, do you wear masks? It's like, yeah, we should do, but I don't. He's like, how long have you worked there? Oh, like 20 years. He's like, yeah, so your brain is not working because it's been damaged so much. So he changed jobs. His brain started working again, started firing up. And then suddenly their relationship got so much better because he was
sentient,
actually a human again. So yeah, like we strive to treat rather than just work on the actual symptoms.
Problems.
Sorry,
treat the symptoms, don't solve the problems. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. This is it. So everything feels exhausting because we just try and put a Band-Aid over things.
Yeah.
Now, I'm feeling anxious. Okay, have some drugs. I'm feeling slightly down. I got a drug for that. Rather than going, why are you feeling down?
And it's great.
It's wonderful.
Personally recommend.
I am on 12 of them. But yeah, so we need to try and treat the actual problem, rather than just trying to gloss over it.
Yeah. Whenever I go to the doctors, I always say, I don't really care about the symptoms. I want to know what's actually causing it. And they're a bit shocked. They're like, what do you mean? You said you're in pain. Like, why wouldn't you want to treat the symptoms? Like, well, that just stops the pain. It doesn't stop the thing. Like, I'll just be on this forever.
Yeah, this is it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So do you think there's too much information for people to think clearly?
Yeah, there's just so much. And so much contradicting information as well. Because we forget in like two pieces of information can be correct, but it's completely dependable on context. That would be a really good time for me to have an example, and I don't, but it is true.
Just take us on face value.
Yeah, I mean, for example, if two people are building muscle, one of them has found that 50 plus reps has been super effective for them training, and the other one has found that 5 reps is super effective for them training, and they've got their desired result. Both are correct ways of training, but only one will suit your goals or work for you. But both are correct. So which one do you choose? It's like most people aren't willing to experiment with lots of different methods. Or if you hear somebody say, "Oh, you must be asleep by 9 o'clock at night and up at 5," and then you hear somebody else say, "Oh, well, you don't really want to go to bed too early because your brain, it's not natural for your brain. You want to go to sleep at midnight and then wake up around 10." It's like, so what, are you both wrong or both right? Or it leaves you very confused and confuddled.
It's hard to find what the right bit of information is. You know, anyone can take to social media, claim they're an expert, and suddenly you find you're not eating grapes because some Dr. Linda told you that grapes are bad.
Yeah, it's true. That's why it's important. I think people get beneath the noise, and
You can eat as many grapes as you want.
Yeah,
This is what we're telling you.
But yeah, trying to understand the context around things rather than just the blanket piece of information is super helpful. But most people don't want to do deep research. They want to have the answer just given to them and be sure that that's right.
So it's almost like too much information as opposed to the right information. You know, if you were wanting to dive into a topic and you wanted to maybe understand why does Trump want to take Greenland, if you put that as a search, it would then bombard you with all the information there. But then if you started looking into his motives and all these kind of things, you could deep dive into one bit and you'd understand, you'd probably then be able to make sense of the information rather than how to build muscle. You're going to get 100 million things that come back and tell you how to build muscle.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of, you almost want to have a bit of autonomy and a bit of strength of character to actually do some searching into the information out there.
I think it's surface level versus depth of understanding. I think never before has any one individual had so much surface level knowledge, because we all can ask like a quick question as and when we know it. We get told the answer and we know the answer to the broad scope of that question.
Especially with AI now as well. You got search something into Google, Gemini summarizes, beautiful little summary for you. Ping, there it is. And you're like, cool. I'm not going to fact check that. I'm going to take it exactly as it is.
The links are just there, but I'm not clicking them because you've told me. Like, I trust you. You've read all of them.
So why would I check if something else has told me?
Yeah. So getting a good depth of understanding, identifying that, and I suppose it comes down to the importance you place on the answer of that question, whatever the question is. How much do you need the answer to be right? For example, if you're doing a university essay, you're probably going to want to fact check yourself so you don't get marked down. But if it's in your own life and the consequences are maybe you grow muscle 5 weeks slower, it's like, is the consequence high enough for you to bother checking? It's like, no.
But the question here is there too much information to think clearly? Is suggesting that there is simply too much information out there on any given subject. Anyone can be an expert. Anyone can fact check anyone else. Anyone can then criticize and comment on anyone else. You know, all the rage now on social media is people reacting to other people's videos, like the floating head style videos where it's like they play theirs and then they comment on it.
Yeah.
You don't know if the original video is correct, if the new one's correct. There's just constant information. So yeah, thinking clearly, having an independent thought is quite rare now.
Yeah. What's the Jordan Peterson line? He says something along the lines of, most of the things that you say aren't coming from you. They're just you championing other people's opinions. And it's like, if somebody asks me, oh, I'm going to the gym, I'm like, oh, cool. Are you training? Like, how are you training? Like, oh, well, I try and crank out as many reps as possible. I was like, are you doing full range of motion? And I'm just saying exactly what Dr. Mike Israel says. I have no idea if it's true, but I believe him. And that is my fact check. But I don't know. Like, I've not read the papers that are like, oh yes, well you on the, what's it called, on the stretch, and then you come all the way up, and it's the,
keep going.
not the contraction, it's the
eccentric
portion of the movement is slightly more hypertrophic than the contraction. But I don't know.
You just trust in.
I just trust it.
A big bald guy and Jeff Nippard.
Yeah, he's bulky, so he must know more. But that's a perfect example.
Just so much information that you just champion what you hear without fact checking it. So having an independent thought is quite rare. It's quite brave almost as well to think for yourself now.
It's exciting.
Is
It's
it?
like, oh my God, I came up with that.
It's like when you came up with a quote, I was like, someone say that. You're like, no, I did it myself. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you're a genius.
There's bound to be 1 in 100 episodes, wasn't there?
Yeah, well, this is what, 104. So
Crikey.
you've had your one. Now you've just got to wait. You don't know when the lightning will strike again.
Who knows? I might get 1 every 100 or 2 every 105. Let's hope. For your sake.
Yeah, for everyone's sake listening. So yeah, too much information to think clearly. There's so much mental clutter out there. The way to get through it is to all the steps we've said before. You know, remove social media, change the app placement on your phone, get a detox, walk in nature. But I also think there's something to be said about think for yourself. If you get a bit of information, fact check it, read it, still do the research. Don't be afraid to question. Because if you're not questioning, you're just accepting that what you've been told is correct. And I don't want to blow it up into like something that it's not at the moment, but people not challenging information they're told has led to some very dire outcomes in the world.
Yeah.
So it's not being afraid to question. Ask questions, try and find out for yourself.
Yeah. Find the sources.
Yeah, agreed. Speaking of that, I think this is very poignant considering what we have just spoken about, the idea of doing your own research. This was one of the most searched questions on this topic. Why do I feel the pressure to have an opinion on everything? Because let's face it, we've all been there where someone has said, oh, what do you think of this? And you're like, I don't know what you mean. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah.
But you try and say something to make yourself sound good.
Yeah. Well, I think we should preface this by saying we don't have the answer. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say there's nothing we can tell you in this moment that is going to be absolutely correct for everybody who's listening. However, I'm going to give it a go anyway.
However, all things said, I'm going to do it anyway.
My opinion on this, because, you know, my opinion can be wrong or right. It doesn't matter. Somebody might be able to learn something from it. You might not. It's my opinion. Why do we feel like we have to have an opinion on everything? Because information is so easily accessible. It would be unbelievable to somebody whose algorithm is suggesting certain things that you wouldn't know it, because to them it's always retargeted. But to you, you might not have the same interests as them in that one topic and therefore have never heard of the thing before. And there's such breadth of information that I think it's actually more unreasonable now than ever to have an understanding on lots of other things. Because you can go deep, but like if I've got an interest in music, I'm going to go super deep on guitar playing and understanding harmony. It'd be unreasonable for me to expect you to have done the same thing as a non-guitar player.
But the issue is because we have now so much information readily available, we can watch snippets, we can skim through articles, we can have information directly delivered to our ear. It almost feels absurd that you wouldn't have an opinion on complex issues. You know, why don't you? Excuse me. There's a bit of stuff at the bottom and it's can't stick.
Yeah, I put that in there.
You did.
Yeah, it'll make you feel good in about 5 minutes.
I look forward to it. Yeah, so it's almost now this illusion that because we have so much information available to us, you should have an opinion on everything. Why don't you have an opinion on everything?
Yeah.
Because you can have opinion on anything. Of course, you can technically have an opinion on whatever the fuck you want, but you don't need to.
Yeah, so I think you've struck gold there. Just because you think you should have an opinion doesn't mean that you should. It's like we always say, oh, well, if it's somebody's opinion, it can't be wrong. It's like, yes, it can. That's literally the difference between opinion and fact. Like, what are we doing? Come on. Yeah, you don't have to have an opinion on things. And if you don't know something, there's no problem with saying, like, I don't know that. I'm interested. You can tell me more, but I won't be able to come back at you with anything because I have nothing. I think that's now rarer than forcing an opinion.
Do you think it's because people have ego attached to the fact that they should know everything? And then if you say to someone, oh, I actually don't know, I don't have an opinion, I haven't heard of this, you get scared, people are going to judge you.
Yeah, but I think it's actually respected.
It's honest, isn't it? It's just... Surely it's worse to say, oh, yeah, I have an opinion. Say something, someone question, and then you're like, oh, no. Then you just go, you know what? I don't actually have an opinion.
Hey, have you heard this album? Oh, yeah, it's great, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it is. What's your favourite song?
Yeah. This is it. But you should have opinions on things that are relevant for you. But it's also, you could be open to differing opinions on the same bit of information, new opinions on topics you've never looked or listened to. You know, we've got a friend that I am going to use this example. Maybe it's a bad one, but I'm going to do it anyway. We've got a friend that's a Trump supporter.
Do we?
We do. You can have one guess to work out who it is. Got him?
Pretty sure.
Yep, there you go. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Really? This surprises me about
Yeah, I know. But I'll happily let him explain to me why he thinks or why he believes the way he does. Because everyone's got the right to have an opinion on whatever they want. And really how you grow as a person is by listening, sharing ideas, and then you can adjust. Do I like your ideas more than mine? Do I actually agree with what you're saying? Oh, do I disagree? Why do I disagree? You can actually have a conversation on it. But it's okay to go, I actually don't know. How about you just inform me on what you do know? And let's face it, if someone knows something on a topic and you ask them to tell you about it, they're going to be like, yeah, let me tell you, I'm the king of this.
Yeah.
They're going to light up.
Yeah, it's true. I think the other thing that you've brought to the forefront there is open-mindedness. I think a lot of people are very closed-minded, almost guarded. Like, these are my opinions, and I'm going to operate within this set of opinions.
Well, yeah, because it's scary to go outside of that, because then someone might question what you hold dear. I think a big one is like religion and politics. People are rigid on those because those are values. Those are what they hold dear. They don't want to question that because this is how I'm navigating life with this set of parameters. I'll happily engage with anyone and like religion and politics talk. Not because I know everything. Actually, probably the opposite, because I want to know more. You know, when it comes to religion, it's like, okay, I'm not religious. Please tell me why you are. And if I like your ideas more, maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe you're right. That's how you grow as a person, isn't it? You don't have to have an opinion on everything. You don't have to be an expert on everything. And it's actually okay to not have an opinion on something as long as you're open to the idea that you can learn from someone.
Yeah.
But everyone loves to have an opinion. Everyone loves to pretend why they're the most important person in a room or they know the most on a subject, don't they?
Everyone wants to be right. It's like nobody wants to be wrong anymore. It's like, it's okay to be wrong. That's how you learn.
Do you think it's cognitive bias as well?
Meaning?
So they want to confirm their own thought patterns, their own ideas.
Yes, man.
Yeah. Not so much a yes man, but these are the ideals I have, so I'm just going to tell you about them, so it's just going to reaffirm it more to myself.
Yeah, could be a lot. Or could be they're on the fence about what they know, and if somebody else agrees, and it's like, yeah, that's it.
Don't you think it's interesting, though, how people that know the least in a subject are often the most confident in their opinion?
Because they're operating like this. So they've got the one piece, and that's like fact. And then outside of that, it doesn't matter because that's the fact. And that's what I can base my whole opinion off. Like if you've made one trade in the stock market and were successful, it's the best day trade ever. Then you go, right, I know everything about day trading now, and I can do this, and I can do that, and I read it, and I know how to identify. I have 100% success rate on my trading, so I'm better than you because you've got 60% on your trading, and like, yeah, but you're operating with a telescope type view, and they might be operating with 30 years of experience understanding the intricacies.
It's like an echo chamber, isn't it? If you've got one bit of information, that's your one bit of information. You're not expanding outside of that. And it might be as well, that might be reaffirmed to you through social media. If your algorithm realizes that this is what you want to listen to, it might just reaffirm that. So then you just double down on that rather than actually seeing the grander picture and the other sides of the story, which actually mean that you might have more to say in a conversation rather than just this one fact you're going to say in 10 different ways.
Yeah.
But listening has been lost as a skill, hasn't it, really? Especially when it comes to people assuming they know everything or wanting to have an opinion on everything. People have lost the ability, or it's undervalued maybe, for people to actually just converse, share opinions, and for me to listen to you without judgment, without expectation on what you're going to say. How many people listen, or how many people just wait for their turn to talk next? Crazy.
Yeah. Sort of a bit of a messed up society.
So there is the art of thoughtful opinion formation. So the importance of diverse sources. So seeking out diverse information, different sources. Critical thinking, which is
Few and far
running rampant in this modern day. Everyone's critically thinking. So yeah, importance of a diverse source, critical thinking, the right to privacy of thought. So important to remember that my thoughts and ideas are my own. Just because I have a thought doesn't mean that I owe it to share it to anyone or vice versa. And then it's choosing when to share.
Yeah. That would almost be a well-lived life.
One little quote to end on for that as well. Thoughts have power. So before we exercise that power, we should reflect deeply on it.
Do you know who that's by?
I don't.
Well, if that was you, if you could let us know down in the comments.
I think we've got about one person watching.
Nice.
That's probably me on my other account to
Yeah.
get those views up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good work.
Thank you. So in terms of having an opinion, why does not having a take feel uncomfortable?
People like to feel like they're contributing to the conversation. And if you're not contributing, you're worried that you're not worth something. And that's not the way it is. It's just in that particular domain, you don't have expertise. So that's your opportunity to be quieter. But if you're talking about something that you do have expertise in, that might be the time to share. And your opinion will hold more weight. I think that's the other thing that we haven't maybe discussed is the being silent gives your opinions when you do talk far more weight. People will respect you an awful lot more because, he never talks, so he must have something meaningful to say.
He only speaks out when he knows what he's saying. She only speaks out when she's got a fully formed sentence with facts and evidence. Yeah, you're right. You don't trust that person that's constantly spouting out and just trying to talk nonsense all the time or has an opinion on everything. Oh, this guy again. She never shuts up.
Yeah, Brenda,
honestly. Shut up, Brenda. Yappa, yappa, yappa.
Brenda
Shut
and
it,
Glenn.
please. Why Brenda and Glenn?
Well, Glenn's the guy in your example.
Oh, is he?
Mm.
Okay. I didn't know. I thought it was David.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So not having a take feels uncomfortable. Maybe because, we've created a condition where we assume that everyone should have a take on something. So there's this expectation to speak up all the time on every given topic, and to not would be uneducated.
Subtractive.
Yeah. Ignorant. Maybe we assume those that constantly speak out are well informed. Maybe we do subtly make that assumption. So maybe if you don't speak out, we assume that people are not taking us seriously.
It's quite an audacious thing, isn't it? Speaking out. It's like wow, they've got something to say about this. Like, I've got to listen. Like, they wouldn't, if they didn't know what they were saying, they wouldn't be talking, surely.
And then they open their mouth and you're like, God, Brenda, shut up.
Obviously, the milk inside cereal tastes better than the milk out the bottle.
Do you think? You prefer cereal milk to normal milk? I don't think the two are comparable. I think they're both great. I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have milk, which is heartbreaking.
So you have no thoughts on this whatsoever?
Well, I do have like soya milk or lactose-free milk.
They don't count.
Lactose-free milk tastes exactly the same.
You're wrong.
Have you ever tried lactose-free milk?
No.
There you go. You feel the need to have an opinion on this and you've not even tried. Case in point. Glenn over here.
I was talking about cow's milk, so you don't have a point either.
I've tried cow's milk before.
I feel sorry for everyone else in the room.
Yeah, that's valid.
I worked out why you can run 5k in 20 minutes as well.
Just drink milk before.
So you can get to the nearest toilet.
Yeah. Try not to.
For those of you who don't know, Connor spends his life on the loo.
First thing I do before filming and after filming.
During, sometimes.
Yeah, that is true. But I do drink a significant amount of water. And you don't.
I'm a camel.
You're not.
Got humps on my back.
I thought that was your scoliosis. God, we did so well. We had like 30 minutes of just serious conversation.
Absolutely.
And then it fell off the rails because you mentioned camels. Is social media making it harder to think for yourself?
Yes.
You said that so confidently. I was expecting some sort of follow-up.
I came up with the answer, and it's yes.
Okay, we'll move on.
The first thing that you see in the morning, as we've mentioned, is your phone and probably social media. So if the first video that pops up in your feed is, somebody sharing their opinion about a product or their opinion about a place, then, you're going to be influenced.
Yeah, you're right. And if social media is designed to keep you on the platform, it's either going to show something that reaffirms how you believe or questions how you believe. So therefore, you're not going to have this ability to form your own independent thought, because the channel that's just providing facts, that's severely less engaging than those that like to polarize.
And storytellers.
Exactly. Yeah. We want to hear why Trump is bad trying to take Greenland. We want to hear why Trump is good trying to take Greenland. We don't want the facts.
I can understand why he wants it.
Can you?
There's loads of resources on Greenland.
Oh, yeah. So much oil for him to...
Oil, but silver as well. It's one of the world's greatest silver resources.
Yeah.
But it's under a mile or two of ice.
Yeah. But it's also not his country.
No. But you could see why he would want... I want to own Greenland, but I'm not threatening war. Yeah. He's just got the resources to...
So yeah, social media is making it harder to think for yourself because it's those echo chambers you said before, where you just narrow down onto one idea. The algorithm is likely just going to reaffirm that to you with a little filter that makes it subtle and engaging. It's not going to encourage autonomy of thought. It's going to, if anything, actively not encourage it. Discourage, thank you. I was trying to get that word and I struggled.
Thinking on a podcast is one of the hardest things.
Thinking in general, to be honest with you. That's why I do it maybe 50% of my time.
What, thinking?
Yeah. I do most of it while I'm asleep.
I believe it.
Okay. Do you think social media is making it hard to think for yourself because of our reduced attention spans as well? Because obviously that endless scroll hole, that bite-sized information, just keep us hooked, keep us like on the platform for as long as possible. That's impairing our ability to have deep, long-form, complex, sustained thoughts. To follow a train, to try and go deep down into it to try and understand why you feel that way. What is it about it that inspires you to feel that way? When you might hit a snag, you might be like, oh, that's too much hard. That's too hard.
Yeah. I think also, just if we broad scope this for a second, there's not many things in life where you can be an expert at. So like Dr. Mike Israel is a sports and exercise scientist. That's his area of expertise. He's not out there giving advice on horse riding.
Just imagine Dr. Mike Israel on a horse.
You can imagine him doing that, actually.
Poor horse.
Poor horse. But he's found his area of expertise, and that's what he, talks about, because that's what he knows. We live in a world where new and shiny is attractive. Mm-hmm. It's like, I want to be interested in horse riding today. I want to be interested in guitar today. I want to be interested in business today. I want to be interested in, lighting. And that's fine. You get a surface level understanding, means you can talk to more people potentially on a surface level and make small talk about a certain topic. But that is not where deep opinions come from. And the reason why we like watching people who know a lot about things is because they've done the hard bit. They've done the hard work to get the area of expertise. And if you haven't done that, you can't fake it.
Do you think social media is then making it harder to think for yourself because we now have experts in this field that can be broadcast on a global scale? So it's like, why would I ever try and think for myself if I can get that information direct to my fingertips? Why would I try and work out what's best for me in muscle building when I can just have someone tell me?
I mean, you've still got to go through the if you want to know what works best for you as an individual, you are going to have to do some work. It's like you can't. Yes, people can give you guidance, but truly finding out what works for you might be higher reps, might be lower reps, might be training 4 days a week, might be training 1 day a week. Like, because they don't know your schedule, for example. They don't know if you've got access to a gym.
This is it. Like, you've got all this information out there telling you that the best split is upper, lower, push, pull, legs, but it might be for you left, right, front, back. I almost got through it. You picturing that?
One leg Bulgarian. Like, I'll come back to that tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, that's enough for Bulgarian to one leg. I'm like, there we go. I'm cooked.
Yeah. Neck. One pec.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Single arm flies.
How do you do half your abs?
I don't know.
Mental.
Abs are on front day, obviously. Come on.
Front day. There's a lot of noise and we're part of it.
We are.
We're trying to get beneath it, but it's difficult.
No, we're not. The noise is here. We're on top of it. We're causing more of it.
On top of the noise is our new channel name.
Yeah. So social media is making it harder for you to think for yourself. Having that independent thought, as we've said before, is a challenge because we are overstimulated. We can receive perceived experts across any field in our fingertips. And don't get me wrong, there's benefits to social media. Chris Williamson said, and rightly so, you can listen to a podcast and get access to the brightest brains in the world direct to your ears while you're on a walk. Awesome. But likely those people are encouraging you to think for yourself, to hear the conversations and engage. That's certainly what we're trying to do, is engaging people to have these sort of conversations themselves. But social media as a whole is just not designed to make you think for yourselves. It's designed to keep you on the platform and to polarize your thoughts.
Yeah.
And what sells? Polarizing.
Yeah, that's why I try and be quite controversial.
There's only 3 things that sell: sex, violence, and Spider-Man.
Harry Potter.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, thinking for yourself is a scary thought in today's world, isn't it? Especially when there's so much noise out there. like we said at the beginning, our brains are constantly overstimulated. They're full. There's too much in there to get out there to think for yourself is quite a challenge. But if you employ these sort of techniques of going out for a walk, daily practice of good sleep, limiting screen time, encouraging deep conversations with your friends, exploring a topic that you're interested in, really trying to understand it, the nuances that come with it, you can get outside of this noise. It's just tough because we are designed to be, but the world is now designed for stimulation and comfort, not for discomfort and lack of stimulation.
Yeah.
Which, ironic, lack of stimulation now is probably extremely uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it circles back to what we were saying at the beginning about boredom. It's like we don't know how to recognize the difference between active rest and boredom. It's like, oh, I'm sitting down doing nothing. Therefore, I must be on my phone.
Therefore, I must be bored.
Yeah.
What's been your key takeaway from this episode?
Don't share when you don't have anything to share.
Nice. I like that.
What about yours?
I think active listening, if you talk, you're really reaffirming what you know. If you listen, you might learn something new.
Mm.
What is your final word, my friend?
Caboozle.
Caboozle. That is your word of the day, isn't it?
I think so.
Good
I
job.
can't really remember it.
Now, how do we turn this live off?
It's a great point. You're asking all the right questions. Well, the good thing is that camera recorded.